What's going on YouTube? Back with the Ford 8N. If you watched the last video, you'll see where we tried to use seafoam to get the engine to stop producing smoke, but what we found was worse. We have oil off in the cooling system from what appears to be a blown head gasket. You can put a glove over and watch it blow up. Oil getting off into the cooling system on these old engines, because there's no valves on the head, is from oil coming up past the piston rings and coming off into the cooling system. Now you can see we've already flushed this cooling system 5 times to where it was pretty much clear water coming out. And what little oil we have in there right now is because that engine's been running for about 2 hours. So we're gonna flush it again, and then we got some bar leaks head gasket sealant. We're gonna try it and we'll see how it works. All right, so we're back with the bar leaks head gasket sealant. Before we get started, I know this is not a long-term fix. This is just a patch. We got hay season coming up within the next week or so, and we're gonna use this tractor to pull a hay rake. Don't really have time to put a gasket on it. But what this says is drain the system, make sure there's no antifreeze in it, which we already have. Mix this with 3 quarts of warm water. We've done that. And then it says to run your system for 10 minutes, turn it off and top off the system, and then run your system again for 15 minutes at idle, turn it off and let it sit for 45 minutes, and then top off your cooling system again, and then run your system at high idle for approximately 20 minutes, and then drain your system and leave the drain off for 12 to 24 hours, and then return your cooling system back to normal. So we've got our premix here. Ignore the jug, it's just a jug. We've got 3 quarts of warm water mixed with the head gasket sealant. And also what we have is we got this Lucas. It says it seals worn cylinders to slow oil consumption. We're gonna see if that helps with the smoke, as we found out that the smoke is coming from the piston rings leaking by. So we'll see if that helps. We'll run this through and see how it works. All right, so we went through the steps and we've let it run. Now we're at the point of draining it for the final time. We'll catch a sample to compare it and see what it looks like compared to the other flushes. This is the first time I've ever used this. Kind of curious to see what exactly it's going to look like. That is what the sample looks like. Very brown colored, you can't really see anything. It's just very murky looking. After this finishes draining, the instructions say let it sit for 12 to 24 hours with the drain plug out. And we're gonna do that and then fill it back up with coolant and fire it up and see what it looks like. Alright, so the other thing I said I was going to do was try this Lucas. It says it seals worn cylinders to slow oil consumption. We've already got 4 quarts added, put a new filter in, oil filter. So we're going to mix. I got about 1 quart left here. Then we're going to add this Lucas to it, mix it, and then add it in together. Maybe it'll pour a little bit better. I believe this Lucas is pretty thick. It's almost like honey. Very, very thick. We'll get this mixed up, add it, and we'll come back out here tomorrow after it sets for 12 hours, crank it up, and see if we got a fixed head gasket, and see where we're at on our smoking. So this is the next day. It's been about 24 hours. We've got the cooling system filled back up. We got a glove taped over. We're gonna fire it up, see if the head gasket sealer did us any good. So it looks like it did work. The glove is no more inflated than it was when I put it on there. Now as far as the smoke, that was the initial fire. Y'all seen it this real time just as I did. It still was smoking. I'm not sure that Lucas, if it's got to run so long, so we're gonna let it idle for a little bit and come back and see if that Lucas helps with the smoke anymore. Well, it's been about 30 minutes of me running this tractor, running at high RPMs and at idle, off and on. And I'll show you what we got. Definitely still got a blown head gasket. I checked that at first. It wasn't bubbling. Like I said, I ran it and then used it like I would, high idle or high RPMs. And looks like that sealant broke loose, because we definitely got blow by now. So it looks like sooner or later we'll be replacing a head gasket on this thing. If you would like to see that, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.